Good morning, welcome to a morning review on Wednesday the 25th of May. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and as you can see, the euro continues to slip down. It's broken through its 21 moving average there on the dailies there, and now looks like it could well be on course to come back and hit its monthly pivot, which statistically would be fine. But it's quite a sell-off from the ultimate highs there. In fact, if we put the fibs on there, we can see that would be bang on a 50% retrace if it actually hits that sort of level, or pretty much a 50% retrace. So quite a possibility there from the ultimate lows to the highs there. And at the moment it looks like a decent target. Now, we haven't seen what would suggest over the last few hours, we certainly haven't seen any sort of decent retraces here. Probably on the smaller ones, as you're saying that on the smaller time frames, there's been some half decent ones here. Looks like another daily pivot may be missed here at the moment, and it's heading down south towards its S1 pretty quickly. With in the moment, retracements for me are potential sell points, but it may be very difficult to get on this currency at the moment to trade it. It's moving pretty rapidly, but as I say, opportunities to sell may be the right way to be at the moment. Looking at cable's holding on just a little bit better. It's Fibonacci wise, got a couple of readings here actually. It was a 50% retrace into that low of yesterday from the smaller move. In this overall picture, though, bigger picture, we could be coming. I mean, we've only really done a 23% or 24% retrace. Could be coming back down towards that 38%, maybe even further. So there's plenty of scope for these corrective moves in these markets. Cable's already hit its monthly pivot, so it's probably less of a target, but more of a target at the moment certainly would seem to be that 21 moving average. From a 4-hour perspective, I mean, it really just shows lower highs, lower lows, so it really just confirms this sort of downward movement at the moment, and it's difficult to do anything aside of that. Not possibly quite as bearish, but if this holds up here, this candle, it's a current live candle, but if this 7 o'clock candle holds up and then we see a break later, I would be playing that for the lows and maybe down to the S1, which would again potentially mean we'll miss yet another daily pivot, which is not unheard of. Any rallies, well, that daily pivot would certainly be a target. Looking then at the dollar yen, we finally yesterday got a breakout of this mess. It's the only way I can really call it. So finally saw the breakout, and we've now seen a continuation of that move. Quite surprising actually. It's still quite so weak, with the GDP that came out overnight was very, very good. It topped all estimates, so but looks like the yen's weakening, continuing its weakening process anyway against the dollar, and continuing pushing up. As I said yesterday in our trading room, well, this really now could go all the way back, potentially. Now it's broken out of this sort of range, could run right away back up to that 121.8990 area, around about that 190 area, back up to those areas there is certainly possible, the way it's moving at the moment and the way we're seeing the dollar strengthen. 4 hourlies not really telling us too much. Looking at the hourlies then, and daily pivot untouched below us. Let's just jig this around a little there. If this candle holds, the selling could come back to 21. With all the markets, if they're all sitting there effectively being sold off against the dollar, the risk of the pivot not being hit is obviously greater, and we could just see a continuation at some point. But it is looking a little bit toppy, although there's no divergence on the hourly from an hourly perspective here or anything. So it may just want to come part way back to the prior highs there, and continue heading north at some point. Okay, finally the Aussie dollar. Okay, so the Aussie dollar Aussie dollar sold off again. I mean, it's continued through this move. The pivot swing kicked in yesterday. It just continued going down south. Very slow at times, though. It has not been quite as volatile as some of the other markets. Heading again back down, looking like it wants to get back towards its monthly pivot again. Let's put the fibs on just for the point of consistency here and see where we are. Yep, 50% retrace of that overall move would see us pulling back towards that 100 moving average, and maybe just into that fib zone between the 50 and 61.8 would give us a move back to the monthly pivot there. At the moment, looking weak again, so continuation of this is quite possible. In terms of trading this, we could look at the break of the Asian session lows there. At the moment, it's looking very weak. There's if we saw any rallies where we've got the potential of the daily pivot, but it's we've all saying that 21's already been hit, 34's above us, so maybe there's an opportunity if it was to rally, but at the moment it's looking quite negative, and it looks like the S1 could be a reasonable target. Okay, overall news-wise today, let's have a quick look through. Obviously, with GDP's already out for Japan. Actually, I just noticed year-on-year figures are 3.4 versus 3.6, which is slightly down actually, but the month quarter-on-quarter is 0.6 versus 0.4, so much more positive. But looking then at the figures that are coming out, we've got FOMC members speaking at 8 o'clock, so which could certainly, due to speak about the economy and the monetary policy, so certainly could get some volatility at 8 o'clock for the pound. And then running through, we've got a 9:30. Bank rate votes. So we'll see the interest rate decision votes, and also the minutes from that vote. So it'll be interesting to see what the thinking was, and a bit more dynamics at 9:30. So 8 o'clock, 9:30. We've got to watch out for cable. Could get quite a lot of volatility around that area. And then really FOMC minutes then at 7 o'clock this evening. So that's where we stand at the moment. Let's see where we. I mean, they could, as I say, all create quite a bit of volatility. Those points. Right, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.